Alex Wagner, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Trevor, it's nice to see you from several miles apart.
Your show, The Circus, has in many ways captured what America is dealing with, but I feel like more than ever, the circus is on fire right now. Like there's an elephant that's on the loose, and the tent poles are falling, and there's chaos. Do you think circus even captures what you're covering in politics today?
Well, I mean, it's a catchier name than like the apocalypse, which is sort of what it feels like. And when people refer to the circus, quite literally, I'm not sure whether they're talking about the show or what's happening in American politics. This is not something that's ever happened before. At stake is liberal democracy. This is really, truly a test in self governance. Does the
Mm-hmm.
model work?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can lose sight of the enormity of the sort of questions at hand when we're caught up in the sort of minute by minute news cycle chaos pandemonium. I mean,
Right.
these we are living through a historical experiment right now.
It really feels like that, and it feels like there's so many parts of the I think the system that are designed to make it more chaotic. Like when you're watching a debate like last night between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris, are you do you see anybody as winning, or does it just feel like the people just go out and they talk and then everyone goes back to their corners?
I mean, the person who wins is the person who the fly doesn't land on. That's like generally the rule of thumb. But to be real about it, I think 2016 taught us that it doesn't really matter who the collective sort of like media elite think wins or
Mm-hmm.
won. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton won those debates, and yet Donald Trump is president. Donald Trump has proven that he has the ability to say, I won no matter what, and
Right.
33% of the country is going to believe him. So, I watched the debate last night and I thought these people are each doing a good job of talking to their tribes.
Right.
There is going to be no general consensus about who did well and who did not, because we have reached the point in American politics where the partisan divide is so steep that a basic performance can no longer be graded on the merits of what is said and done. It is always going to fall into a tribal divide.
One of the more eye-opening interviews you did, or your show did, was with Steve Bannon,
Oh yeah.
former advisor slash BFF to the president. I don't know what their relationship really is. All I know is he said that Trump is going to contest this election at all costs, and he's going to make it a fight regardless of what happens to try and make sure that the election is his. How do you process that information? Like, do you go like, this guy's it's just bluster, or do you think it's real?
I think Steve Bannon has a window into Trump's soul that very few do, which is why he's a very useful narrator in this moment. But I think he's right. I mean, first of all, I think there is zero chance that Trump is going to concede. Even if he does not create complete chaos in the aftermath of the election, there is no chance that Trump comes out of here saying, I lost. It's just as someone who is perhaps a clinical narcissist, I'm not sure, but it is a violation of his sort of core ethic to admit a loss, and that is
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen. The ultimate question lies with Republican governors and Republicans in legislatures, and in Congress. Are you going to be foot soldiers for chaos? Are you going to
You
fall in line with
you
what the
speak to them. You speak to them. What have they said? Do they seem like they're going to go with Trump if he just refuses to concede, or are they going to pull another flip flop and be like, no, we would never do this, and then they're just going to be marching down the streets after the election with him?
I think that it's like sort of the twin poles of republicanism. There's one faction of Republicans that realize that Donald Trump is the party, and if they are to survive, they have to keep the base with them. If they are going to stay in office, they have to keep the base with him. And so they may be reluctant to say we are going to follow him no matter what he says after November
Yeah.
3rd, but they will. And then there's another faction of Republicans who understand how poisonous Trump has been for the GOP on whole, and they may be thinking, listen, if he's lost, then this is our chance to get rid of him and try and refashion the party into something that resembles what it used to. And I think it's largely going to rest on how close the election is. If you have elections that are really tight in Florida, in Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
then there's more of a case to be made for a whole series of lawsuits, endless litigation, recounts that, rival what happened in Florida in 2000. If it's a much bigger margin, Trump's still not going to concede, but I think the opportunities for trickery and chicanery lessen greatly.
This has been a very different season for you because you've still been out there during a pandemic, and you've found different ways to make the show and still be safe. What are some of the things you felt about America on the ground as you navigate throughout the country?
There is a deep and profound sense of heartbreak. I mean, I will never forget going to Kenosha. And it's not just Kenosha, it's also Milwaukee and parts of Madison, and everything was boarded up. And your first instinct is to think, oh, everything's shuttered here. But those businesses were still open. And it was kind of, I won't say a metaphor because it was happening in the real world, but it told you all you needed to know about how closed off we've become from one another, about how sort of dark the future looks for everybody. And then the sense of palpable anxiety and fury. And I don't want to say it's completely hopeless, but I have never sensed the sadness that I do and the true anxiety, and I think some of the times that anxiety and sadness takes a form of vitriol, and you see that on display at especially at some of the Trump rallies that are still happening. And on the flip side, on the Biden side, I was at a drive-in rally in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and there is a sense of brokenness and a desire to be made whole that is unlike any other period in American politics.
Wow.
But I also think you're witnessing something in American politics, and it is asymmetrical. One party is no longer just saying the other side is wrong. They're saying the other side is evil. And that is a really disconcerting development, right? I mean, when Reagan was, when someone tried to kill Ronald Reagan in 1981, Reagan is ailing in his hospital bed. And the Speaker of the House, a Democrat, Tip O'Neill, is one of the very few people admitted into the hospital. And he gets down on his knees and prays with Reagan. It is impossible to imagine Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi doing the same thing. And by the way, it is not because Nancy Pelosi doesn't say regularly, I pray for Donald Trump. But I think that there was a decision, and I would really put this more on the right than the left, that to poison the groundwater and to say this isn't just about a policy difference. This is about a way of life, and this is about a kind of people that are not American. And they don't belong here, and they are not part of our vision for the country. And once you make it deeply personal and take it into the realm of the emotional, it makes it really hard to build a bridge back. Unfortunately, building the bridge back is the task of the next decade, right? I mean, Trump may not be in office, but Trumpism is the Republican Party. It is republicanism at this point. And it will be incumbent, I think, on progressives and Democrats, however unfair it may be, to build back that bridge with whoever is left on the other side and wanting to make that happen.
There's a lot of work to be done. Alex, as always, I appreciate having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. Good luck with your travels out there. Good luck with the family. And I'll see you next time, hopefully in person.
Thanks, Trevor. Always great to see you.